All right, thanks, Joey. Time now for a top story check. And there's a full-scale attack on Ukraine that is continuing as blasts ring out over the country's major cities. And this morning, European leaders announced new sanctions to punish Russia as many countries continue to condemn the aggression. Mandy Gaither has the latest for us this morning on how the world is reacting to this war.
Ukraine under siege. Russia unleashes war with attacks and airstrikes. Residents racing to safety. This subway turned into a bomb shelter. Others fleeing the country altogether.
It's awful. You have to act, guys. You next. I mean, maybe not America, but Poland, other countries of Europe need to act immediately. It's not normal. Those people stand 7 hours with a baby on a border.
Some women and children crossing the border into Poland, but Ukraine has now temporarily banned males between the ages of 18 and 60 from leaving the country. Ukraine's president says Russian sabotage groups have entered Kyiv.
The enemy has marked me as target number 1. My family is target number 2. They want to destroy Ukraine politically by destroying the head of state.
More countries condemning the attacks, announcing sanctions against Russia. The European Union says it's targeting Russia's financial, energy, and transport sectors, visa policy, and more. Meanwhile, the French president says he's ready to broker a ceasefire, positioning himself as a mediator between the two countries, but he accuses the Russian president of duplicity.
There was a deliberate, conscious choice by President Putin to launch the war when we could still negotiate peace.
I'm Mandy Gaither reporting.
In the meantime, be prepared for prices at the pump to reach $4 per gallon nationwide. Oil futures are now more than $100 a barrel, with a high not reached since 2014. The spike comes largely from the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the consequences that have come since it started, despite commuters grumbling about paying more to fill up their vehicles. The expected higher gas prices won't likely hurt the country's overall economic growth. Analysts say the U.S.'s strong gross domestic product just had its biggest rise in decades and should handle the situation well. The last 4 times oil rose to $100 a barrel, the U.S. avoided falling into a recession. And in Puerto Rico, the First Lady of San Juan has now called for donations, specifically women's and men's suits that are in good condition for donations to support graduating students from high school, with the goal of helping celebrate these graduating students and all of their hard successes as they've looked forward to this day for quite some time. Our Francis Felix reports.
The initiative San Juan Te Viste Pa'l Prom, San Juan Dress You Up for Prom, will provide graduating 9 or senior year students with the attire to attend the event that celebrates the end of a stage.
This idea was born during the Jorge Santini administration. Former Lady Irma Garriga was the one that created this program. I think it's a very beautiful initiative, so we decided to continue on. This initiative will impact low-income communities and people that need some kind of help and support. It's a holistic initiative. Yeah, we want to give them the part that we are providing them also with the clothing, but with the emotional and the support that they need in terms of beauty and to elevate the self-esteem also. They have to present some evidence. They have to be from San Juan. Also, they will be asked to fill out a form where they have to ask the school to seal the form so they can certify that they are graduating, that they are senior students.
How other people can help?
We are asking people to donate and collect the clothing. It's for the public sector, private sector, maybe boutiques, maybe shops. We are asking for clothing, we're asking for shoes, accessories, not only for women but also for men. We will be having all the donations during the month of March, maybe April, and afterwards we are selecting the people that we think they need that kind of donation, and we will be calling them so they can get their fittings and go for what they need.
For those who want to make donations such as dresses, shoes, accessories, new or used ones, can call to the following numbers to coordinate. Everything must be in excellent conditions to be donated. From Old San Juan, Puerto Rico, Frances Felix.
All right, thanks so much, Francis. Well, meantime, 3 former Minneapolis police officers are guilty of violating George Floyd's civil rights. A federal jury on Thursday found J. Alexander King, Tu Tao, and Thomas Lane deprived George Floyd of his right to medical care when former officer Derek Chauvin pressed his knee into Floyd's neck, killing him. All 3 face a state trial in June on charges of aiding and abetting murder and manslaughter. And switching gears now, just under half of the Caribbean's population are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. But Dr. Carissa Antine, the director of the Pan American Health Organization, says more need to be vaccinated to stop the spread of this virus. More than 21 million of the more than 44 million people living in the region are vaccinated. However, out of the 13 countries and territories in the Americas that have not yet reached the World Health Organization's 2021 goal of 40% vaccination coverage, 10 are in the Caribbean. Dr. Antine insisted that Caribbean countries to do more to reach unvaccinated people.
We really don't know when the pandemic will end. But what we do know is that vaccination is the best way to protect against disease and death from COVID-19. We continue to urge countries in the Caribbean and countries throughout the Americas to fill critical gaps in vaccination coverage. Vaccines are now more widely available, and we should take advantage of that improved supply to expand our immunization efforts.
She went on to say that interventions should be tailored to those of the needs of those who remain vulnerable in each country, including the elderly and people with underlying health conditions.
We need to focus on expanding coverage in high-risk groups like health workers, the elderly, and immunocompromised persons to help save lives and to shield our hospital capacity. Our hospitals have reached breaking point over and over again. Our healthcare workers are really burnt out. They are exasperated, some of them mentally suffering from depression, etc. So to overcome this pandemic, we have to expand vaccinations to cover everyone who is eligible after we protect these high priority groups.
Meantime, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is expected to relax its mask guidance here very soon. Now, that's all according to 2 sources sharing that expected shift with NBC News. The new guidance will likely loosen indoor masking requirements and comes as most states have either already lifted their indoor masking mandates or plan to. Now, if the change is as expected, it would be the first revision to the agency's indoor mask guidance since July. And another recall to let you know about today. Ford says it is recalling 250,000 heavy-duty pickup trucks in the U.S. The recall covers certain F-250 and F-350 Super Duty trucks from the 2017-2022 model years. The company says that drive shafts in those models can fracture and cause a power loss or loss of control if it hits the ground. Owners will be notified by letter starting April 4th. Dealers will inspect the drive shafts and repair them if necessary.